The question is identify the error. This is third question. So first subdivision, second subdivision, and not subdivision, first sum, second sum, and third sum. Okay. The first sum is there. I've drawn the triangle diagram. Then I cut into two parts. But this shaded part is not 1 by 2 since the parts are not equal. So this is a triangle. I cut into parts. First part and second part, but it is not equal. Fraction means you have to cut the parts are equal. Okay, you have to cut into equal parts. Okay, whatever the object you have taken, but you have to cut into equal parts. Then only you can say how many parts you have taken out from the whole total number of parts. Okay. So total number of parts, how many first you have to write, that is called as a denominator. So how many parts you have taken out from the object, that is also you have to mention it, that is a numerator. So whatever the object may be, you have to cut into equal parts, but in this object it is, of course I have cut into two parts, but these two parts are not equal. This is greater, this is smaller. Okay, so that is what this shaded part is not 1 by 2, is 1 by 2 I have written, but actually it is not 1 by 2 since the parts are not equal. Since the parts are not equal. So next one, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, but I have shaded only one portion, that is, see in the triangle I cut into two parts, otherwise I split into two parts, but I have shaded only one part, but it is not exactly half. While you see it's like half, but actually it is not half. Why it is not half means because the shaded part is not equal since the parts are not equal. So the shaded part is not what? The shaded part is not, this is the only shaded part, so only one part I have shaded. So one, and how many parts totally? 2 parts, that is what we have written 1 by 2. This shaded part is not 1 by 2 since the parts are not equal. Okay, since the parts are equal, while you go for fraction, you have to cut into equal parts, then you have to what? Shade the remaining parts, whatever the parts, whatever the fraction is given in the question. Okay, first whatever the object you have taken, you have to cut into equal parts from the equal parts, or otherwise from the total number of parts you have to taken out particular parts, particular number of equal parts, that is very very important. That is what we have said. Okay, so while we taken out from the number of equal parts, for example I cut into 4 equal parts, then I have taken out only 2 parts from the number of equal parts, means the fraction is 2 by 4, you know that. Okay, that is called as a fraction exactly, but fraction means you have to cut into equal number of parts. Okay, that is very important, but in this object it is not what, in the what, this object is not cut into equal parts. That is what it is a, that is what we couldn't find out, that is what we find out. This 1 by 2 is not a, this is not the exact fraction of 1 by 2, this is not the exact fraction of 1 by 2, otherwise we can call it as this shaded part is not half since the parts are not equal. That is what I have written. And the next diagram, it is a rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I cut into 4 parts, but these 2 parts are similar and these 2 parts are similar. This is a larger part, this is a smaller part. Anyhow, total number of parts is what? I shaded only one part. So that is what I have written 1 by 4, but is 1 by 4, this is not 1 by 4 because the shaded part is not what? Not 1 by 4. While you see this look like 1 by 4, but exactly it is not 1 by 4 since the parts are not equal, because while you go for a fraction, how many you take any object, after that you have to cut into equal parts. From the equal parts you have to shaded the particular portion, that is the exact fraction, you can get it. Okay, so 1 by, this is not 1 by 4 fraction. Why it is not 1 by 4? The spot the error, otherwise identify the error, because whatever the object I have drawn, it is not cut into equal parts. It is not cut into equal parts. It is not divided into equally. That is the exact answer. It is not divided equally. It is not divided. It is not divided equally. Otherwise, it is not cut into equal parts. That is the only reason. Whatever the fraction has written, it is not exactly right. It is not exactly right. It is not exactly right. That means it is exactly wrong. The right answer is, this is not 1 by 2. This is not 1 by 4. Because 1 by 4 means whatever the object you have taken, that object should be cut into equal parts. Then you have to shade the particular portion. That is what. So the shaded part is 1 by 4 since the parts are not equal. Then next is 3 by 4. It is a circle. So how many parts I cut in? 1 and 2 and this 3 and 1. This is 4. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyhow, it is 4 parts, but I shaded how many parts? First part and fourth part and third part. Actually, I shaded 3 parts, that is what 3 by 4, but it is not exactly 3 by 4, because why it is not, the shaded part is not 3 by 4 means since the parts are not equal. So that is the exact identify the error. Error means what is the error in this diagram, because the exact what error is, the parts are not equal in this diagram. The parts are not, whatever the diagram I have drawn, these parts are not equal. These parts are not equal. That is what are the fraction I have written, it is entirely wrong. This is the exact error for this question.